In the days after Jesus' resurrection, his followers would gather at the site of his tomb to pray and talk and remember and worship. 10 years after his resurrection, a king, Agrippa, expanded the city and included the ancient quarry where Jesus' tomb was inside the wall. So we know that it stopped being a place where they were building tombs. After all, Jewish law said that graves couldn't be within about 75 feet of the city. Jump ahead about 30 years. Jerusalem was destroyed by the Romans in 70 AD. But after a couple years, Christians returned to the site, built a gathering place on Mount Zion, and they continued to venerate the site of Jesus' tomb. Now jump forward about 100 years to 135. There was a Roman emperor named Hadrian who was determined to turn Jerusalem into a pagan city. So he ordered that the rock-cut tomb be filled in and a platform be created over it so he could build a temple to Jupiter and Aphrodite. By doing so, he marked the location of the tomb where Christians had gathered and recognized that Jesus had risen. Now jump ahead another 200 years. There was a new emperor, Constantine, and he became a Christian. His mother, Helena, came to Jerusalem and asked to see the tomb of Jesus. She was told it was under the platform of the pagan temple, so she had it dug up. Helena then had them remove all the rock around it and leave only the bench on which Jesus' body had been placed. She built a small chapel over it, a dome, a courtyard, and a basilica in front of it. Now, over the centuries, those buildings have been severely damaged by Muslim conquerors, shaken by earthquakes, consumed by fire, destroyed by war, divided by infighting, and rebuilt and remodeled redundantly. They've endured everything from Muslim conquest to Crusader superstitions to millions of pilgrims. As a result, they appear as the hodgepodge they are today. Anonymous buildings cling to a confusing structure like barnacles. Tourists are often quite disappointed because it looks nothing like their expectations. It's filled with hustle and bustle, incense and icons. People alternate between pious reverence and jostling for a better position in line. But if you can see beyond all that, it stands as a testimony to why Jesus is so important. If you go just 25 yards that way, you go into a little chapel called the Syrian Chapel, and it's got a cleft in the wall. Let me show you what's there. This is the Syrian Chapel, and over here is a little opening in the wall. Does this look familiar? You see, there was a reason why the believers began to worship in this area. It's because Jesus rose from the dead. So who are you going to trust? I'm going with the one who rose from the dead.